Yo, what's going on? It's the Real Hall of Fame. D-Line, TBKC, and all that sweet, beautiful, wonderful shit. Yeah, I'm going to tell you guys like this. I'm going to do a 5-part series, and I'm going to break down, what I know from start to finish. Not everything, of course, but a lot of what I know from start to finish about this American bully shit, my opinions, and whatever. But I didn't listen to the whole Dave Wilson lie today because I know that's all he was doing is lying. But I tell you, this is basically what it is. You're going to get the same old stories from Dave. It's going to be, I'm playing the victim. I just did this because, and I didn't listen to it, so y'all tell me if I'm wrong, but I know him that well. I just did this for the community. I did this for the people. And this is the reason why everything that I've done has been criticized, because I was the only one for the people. Everybody else is the one making money. I can guarantee you something else he said. I never make any money from the dogs. Okay, first of all, Dave, y'all brag about having nearly 2 million. If it isn't 2 million, it's for sure over 1 million dogs. $30 per dog, even if it's at 1 million, would be $30 million, and that doesn't include forms, that doesn't include the fees for shows, that doesn't include the extra forms for breeding this, doing that. We're just going to stick to straight puppy registrations and the dogs that y'all have registered at $30, and this is very low on the fees because there's a tons of other forms that they make money from, including t-shirts. And it's not me here counting their money, but it's being realistic when he says, oh, I don't make any money. Bottom line, brother, even if it was 30 million over the last 20 years, that is over $1 million a year. Now, we know the early years were slim because the registry wasn't making money. So most of these registrations have come in over the last decade. You're making money. Stop lying to the people, telling them that you're doing it for no reason. It's a business. You should be able to make money in your business. Stop lying like you're this big donation person. You've donated to nothing. You still don't donate to BSL causes. You've abandoned the fight to save the XL in Europe, specifically the UK. You've done nothing there. There are people complaining about the fact that you said that you were doing this fundraiser and you were raising money and y'all were going to be fighting head over heels for this, and you pretty much abandoned the UK. Stop it with the I'm a victim shit, and I only fight for the breed, and I'm the great Dave Wilson, and I never. Stop it, man. One of the biggest issues that this breed has had and will continue to have for very, very good reason is his lying ass. You keep changing everything. You keep wanting to be a victim. And one thing, let me get this out the way right now. Dave, I was there, bro. I've talked to a lot of the brothers who were there, bro. It was nothing about race. Stop doing that shit, that old Donald Trump trying to make yourself something that you're not. Dog, it was Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Portuguese black motherfuckers like myself. We were not having a big issue with racism, not from the UKC, and not in general about these dogs, because there were plenty of white dudes who was with us that loved the dogs as well. It was not a racial issue. Stop putting that shit out there like all of a sudden your ass is Dr. King and you just pulled everything to the side and you made things great because they didn't want us black folks up in there and they didn't want the Mexicans up there. Stop that shit, man. You's a fucking bitch for that. It was never that issue. The reason why they didn't want us around is a very simple issue that maybe your dumb ass should have learned from. The bottom line why they didn't want us to come around the UKC was because we were destroying the pit bull breed. Y'all listen to this fucking dude lie 24/7 and y'all never ask that question. Now let me take this thing off so the phone doesn't overheat. But y'all never asked this question, and it's a very simple question. Why wouldn't the UKC want us around? Because as Dave brags about, Cairo was 115, 120 pounds, and he was gigantic, and he was this. That's not what a pit bull is. So you're trying to bring dogs in there that are damn near double the size of what they wanted their pit bulls to be with pit bull papers. They were protecting the breed. It had nothing to do with anybody's color at all. There are plenty black people. There are plenty Latinos that still show in the UKC, have prominent roles in the UKC, and don't have problems because of their color. Stop gaslighting and stop doing that. that, avoiding the situation that you have fucked up, the groundwork that was laid, not by you, but by a group of individuals. And when you're in the right mood, you say, yeah, it was a collaborative effort. It wasn't no fucking community. It was a group of people, not a fucking community, but we put the shit together, Dave. You were a part of that, Dave. But stop it with these fucking lies. It had nothing to do with race. It had everything to do with the fact that the breed was being kicked out of the UKC and had nowhere to go. And at the time, we were under strict BSL regulations in a lot of places. So our thoughts were, let us be the ones to push this shit. Let us be the ones to make our dogs different. Let's separate our dogs from the dogs that they want to ban and give us a better place so we can have our own shit, throw our own shows, do our own thing. Had nothing to do with race, man. And then you're really a piece of shit to keep on talking about that. No one, if y'all talk to any of the OGs, you can call Oscar Gomez, you can call whoever you want to call. We did not have any racial problems as to why they didn't like our dogs. They didn't like our dogs because they didn't fit the standard. And coming from someone who has a registry that never cares about standards, and you can basically put a bully frog in the ring, and if you know the right person and pay the right handler, you'll come out a grand champion, maybe even a national champion. It makes sense. I know his routine. I don't have to listen to it all. You know, he's not some kind of social pariah and all this other shit. The bottom line is the way that the ABKC got going is because at this time we were doing something different. We wanted pit bulls on steroids, which is very, very large pit bulls. We wanted the pit bull look. If you look back, and this is why Dave often gets in trouble. If you look back, his original videos, he tells you, and this is going back about 14, 15 years, where they're showing some of the dogs from back then, and he's like, yeah, the breed is basically perfect now. It should just have more drive, and it should be a little more athletic. Somehow, 5 years later, he's got the extreme class, which brought in Dax, and we'll go through that in the other video, and other dogs, but he hated Miyagi for something different, and it was political. And it was political, and it was somewhat selfish. And yes, the stories that you hear about him and Cruz trying to buy Miyagi at one time are factual, and it tells you how politics play. Everything is a money control, money grab situation. That's all it is. The reason now that they're talking about merles, it was all merles from the beginning. Look, no, it was not. I'm going to tell y'all this for a fact. We can get John Easterly on here. We can get a lot of different people on here who are not under under Dave's thumb. The reason why the merle was specifically banned, you could not register a merle dog. It was no acceptability. This was a rock solid rule. Merles and all white dogs, you could not have them in the registry. If some people have the original copies of the standard, it was a DQ. How is a DQ allowed to be registered? It's disqualified. You cannot put that into the gene pool. Another thing, this lie that he tells, and keep in mind, this is how confident I am. I have not watched his video. He annoys me. And I still love the brother. We went through a lot together, so I don't y'all start y'all shit. I still love the brother from the aspect that I wish nothing but the best to him and his family and Deanna. We disagree on dogs and this shit, but I don't wish anything bad on the brother. So don't y'all, I know how y'all get on this internet sometimes. It's levels to this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely wish him the best. I wish his health the best. I wish his family the best. That's so y'all don't get it twisted. But on this dog shit, I'm about to get in his ass. Now, so y'all understand. Now, the thing of it is about this whole situation is this. The stud books. There's no such thing. Ask him to see the original stud books, because this is another ongoing lie that he tells. Let me explain something to y'all about stud books. A real breed that was made off of stud books is an organized breed that starts from the beginning. So what will happen is, say for instance, I'm going to make a breed, the Hall of Fame breed. I would pick a select group of studs, whether it was 10, whether it was 20, whether it was 50. I would pick these studs. These are the only studs that can be used in making my dogs. Now, these studs and approved studs off of these studs. So this would be the list of acceptable studs. That's what the actual stud book is. There is no such thing in the American Bully breed. The reason being is when the breed was actually organized and brought into fruition with the ABKC, it was already too many studs. You had the Gotti lines, you had the Gray lines, you had the Razor's Edge dogs, you had Mike Land, you had a lot of different people, and they were all allowed to be registered. This is why there's no such thing as a stud book. It's a lie that Dave tells over and over again. I challenge him to talk about these stud books. Now now it's a catch-22 when you ask that question, because realistically there is a stud book, but the stud book is just blank. Anybody can get in. It's a note. Anybody can get the fuck in. That's what the stud books were. It's another lie that he tells. Merles were specifically banned for a reason. This is why he's getting into trouble now. It was a bulldog thing. We did not deal with merles. This is why you will see no old pictures of merle bullies. You won't see them. Look for them. They're like, find some. I'll find you Bigfoot if you find me the original merles. I'll find you Bigfoot. We make a deal. I go right up there into the mountains and snatch his big ass right up out the mountains if y'all can find me the original merle dogs. It's a lie. The reason, and I don't want to give up too much, and y'all can support the page, man. I appreciate y'all who making the donations here and there. I'm about to give y'all some work this week, so hopefully y'all can make a few donations here and there, because I'm literally going to be on this thing about 12 hours. So y'all can at least buy me a fillet of fish. Everything's free here, but I appreciate y'all support and love anyway. I'm fucking with y'all. But this is the truth. The issues inside of this, and I will go into detail, is the lack of professionalism in a registry, because the registry is the police. The registry polices the breed and makes sure that this breed takes off to be what it needs to be. If we do not have the ability to do the things that we need to do to perfect our breed, then therefore we will not under any circumstances be able to maintain this breed. This is what has happened. Now they are pushing, and I understand why people are upset, the extreme. I take you back to 2014 when me and Dave had these conversations, and I will give Dave his credit. At that point in time, Dave was very specific that he wanted to get rid of the extreme because everything was wrong with it. People were clowning them all around the world. These dogs are unhealthy. Why would you make a class for this? Why would you do this? Boom, the extreme class is gone. The only problem was Dave didn't want to let go of the money, so he allowed the extreme dogs to go into the other dogs, which didn't make any sense. It's like, I find cancer. Okay, we're going to take the word cancer off of it, but we're going to let it go into everybody else's bodies. That's pretty much what he did, and this is a big reason why the breed is fucked up, and it goes back to the original thing, his greed. If you knew that these dogs were unhealthy, you were openly admitted that they were bad for the breed, they didn't need to be around, why would you allow them to all be filtered back into the registry? You didn't want to lose the money. And this is another thing that comes back around 10 years later. You've acknowledged 10 years previous that these dogs are unhealthy and bad, but you're going to bring it back again because once again you see that there's too much money to leave on the table. This is why you're bringing in merles. This is why you've now allowed exotic dogs to be registered. This is why your situation with Miyagi, who you came out publicly and said there's no way that this dog should be allowed because we found out the things about all the paper hanging and the Frenchies and everything else that he was mixing into the dogs. And you were right to say this, but what did you do? You turned around, now you allowed Miyagi blood. Now you're allowed this, now you're allowed that. And it always goes back to the fact that they don't want to turn down money. If you tell me a dog that they will not accept in the ABKC, once again, I'll go find Sasquatch. They don't ban dogs, they don't ban people. Anything that comes and you're willing to pay, they will allow in. This is why the dogs are bad. This is why the community is bad. It's a lot going on in this community with the dogs. We're not talking people, just the dogs. The quality of animal you see in the ring has deteriorated because there are no regulations. There is nobody saying that that's unfit to be bred. There's no papers being pulled. There's no any of this. If you have $30, they have something for you. The more that this goes on, the longer that this continues, the American bully will continue to die. And I will tell you this, and like I said, the 5-part series, y'all stay tuned for it. We're going to turn up on that. The one thing I can tell you, and this is factual, is that we have yet to see the ABKC address the health issues of the breed. We have yet to see the ABKC address the DNA issues of the breed and all the paper hanging and obvious paper hanging and dogs that don't match what they say they are. We have yet to see them talk about the Kimbo issue and the numbers spiking up very, very high for attacks from American bully type dogs. A lot of times they say large pit bulls. We know that those are American bullies. They have yet to address how were there no merles before, and all of a sudden there's merles everywhere. Genes don't work like that. Dave is smart enough to know that, but that's a DNA issue. Where did it come from, and does it change the psychological features of the dog to take it from a more docile, people-friendly companion dog to a dog that has more protection drive and is willing to bite people? These are the issues that are plaguing our community, that have veterinarians banning our dogs, that have different legislations that are headed our way. Some places have already banned our dogs, and literally has this country, not this country, but certain countries that have already banned the dogs or are moving forward to do other bans on this breed. This is where the registry was supposed to come in and save the breed. All they have done is find more ways to take in more money, and they have done nothing with that money. Find the people in the UK and ask them, what has the ABKC done for them in their battle to save their dogs? A place that has bragged that they have registered over 100,000 dogs with this specific registry, and they can't even get a fucking phone call, help, and a flight over to try to set up something to fight for this breed. We're going to talk about this. Y'all don't want to miss this 5-part series. It's going to be a lot of information. It's going to be a lot of history, but it's going to be a very, very clear picture. No more lies. Like I say, it's no hate. I'm better physically and mentally, and you know, we have to fix this. Until next time, y'all, God bless you. Much love. Peace.